is the union saying that these games need to be played on grass. Here's Jerry Jones from yesterday morning's just rolled out of bed and smoking a cigar and drinking some more Johnny Walker Blue. I'm kidding. Appearance on 105.3 The Fan about whether or not there's a problem with playing on artificial turf. Here he is.
Our league stats don't see issues with the type surface that we have as opposed to natural gas. We don't see issues. No facts bear that out.
And now look, I mean, first of all, anecdotally, it's just not true. We've seen the difference between non-contact problems on turf and on grass. And we know anybody that's walked on an artificial turf field and walked on a grass field or run on it knows there's more give. It's softer. You're less likely to get injured on grass. There wouldn't be so many voices of people who are down there in that pit saying, why can't we play on grass, if they didn't think grass was better. The stats he's referring to, it deals with the incident rate on turf versus grass. And apparently last year, the non-contact injuries on grass and artificial turf were equivalent. Well, before that, it was skewed toward turf. So just because there's 1 year, like the field didn't magically become better. 1 year to me is a statistical anomaly. Let's see what happens this year. Let's see what happens next year. They get lucky and they have 1 year where the numbers match up, and so they say there's no problem. I mean, that's BS to me, Chris.
Well, yeah, it is. It's cherry picking is what it is. And it's cherry picking, and they know it's not right. And okay, that's non-contact injuries too. What about like head injuries? Because I see the guys get in the, what do you call that? The fencing pose? A lot more on field turf. I mean, Tua hit his head just as hard on grass 4 days earlier. He's on field turf, and look what happened. I feel like we've seen a number of the scary fencing poses. More of them seem to happen on field turf because of the reshock, okay? No football player wants to play on that field turf compared to the grass. Nobody. Why don't you ask Jerry Jones, hey, Jerry, why is it that every time I watch your practices, then why isn't your team on the field turf surface you got at the facility? Why are they always on the grass? Why is that? Because the players have said we don't want to be on the field turf every day. We feel it in our body. It doesn't make us feel good. So stop with the bullshit, NFL owners, okay? And I don't understand it. I don't. I know they can have concerts, and that's all it's about is that money. But damn, I guess they make a lot more money than that than the non-contact guy that tore his knee up, and you got to pay him $10 million for not playing for you that year. I guess they're making that kind of money.
The idea is it's too difficult to have a grass field. If you're going to have all these other events, what do you do? And it's kind of hard to retrofit an already built stadium to put in the system like they have in Arizona and Las Vegas.
Well, that's it. See, these are problems.
Could have done it.
Could have done it. You're a billionaire. Start doing this crap and stop endangering guys who only have a short time to play on a surface that's not good for them. I mean, period.
You hit the nail on the head, though. You hit the nail on the head. Because the thing about statistics, you can make statistics say whatever you want if you twist the variables just enough. So, hey, look at this. The non-contact is the same. But you're right. Hitting your head against the turf, it's different if it's grass than if it's artificial turf. Or, Chris, just having your leg caught.
Exactly.
When you do
and
have
somebody's
contact.
hitting you. Exactly. It doesn't mean anything. Right. Your leg could be extra caught. Yeah, and maybe last year was a year where, the numbers didn't bear out. But you're right. Your leg, non-contact, or contact, let's say contact on grass, you're about to make that cut going this way, right? And you plant that leg. Okay? Again, I would feel much better about doing that as I'm getting hit on a grass field as compared to a field turf field.
Yeah, because we see on grass, the cleat goes.
It goes. It
doesn't
tears
stay
up.
planted.
Right.
It grabs. It's more likely to grab on field turf. We've seen that. That's the thing. These kind of stats that don't mesh with the anecdotal evidence, the things we see with our eyes, the things we hear with our ears from the people who are in the sport, who have a vested interest in their health versus the people who run the sport and have a vested interest in their bank accounts. That's where the two sides don't come together.
Well, agreed. I want to challenge. I want to throw the challenge flag here and show me where. I don't remember injuries on grass nearly to the same standard of Odell in the Super Bowl on field turf. J.C. Jackson on that same field turf this year. Oh, Odell Beckham Jr. in Cincinnati, right? Same thing, non-contact. Sterling Shepard, right? Jogging down the field. Where was that on? Okay, I don't see those happening on grass. That's where it's bull crap. I don't buy it at all. Let alone, all you got to do is talk to players. All you got to do. None of them are going to tell you, oh yeah, it's the same. Field turf's cool. None. And let alone, Mike, like you always hear me say, there's a reason the Ronaldos and the Messis of the soccer world, they don't ever play on that stuff. They come over here to America, they play all these games in the summer and get great crowds, and then they play on a field turf field and they don't play because it's in their contract. You know, it's not in their contract because, oh, it's the same as grass. It's in their contract because it does not feel the same for an athlete. And it makes you not feel as good while you're playing, and it makes you not feel as good the next day either. And that's where I won't buy that, and I'm never going to back down from this. That's a bullcrap, non-player safety comment right there by Jerry Jones.
The only player who, in my recollection, in recent months, that has come close to saying I have no problem with it was Jalen Ramsey. And when you look at his full comments, two things stood out. One, he seems resigned to the fact that the business realities aren't going to change it, so there's no point complaining about it. And number two, there was that macho, we'll play on broken glass if we have to, that was coming out as well. Like, right. You don't want to be perceived as complaining about it. You know, we'll play anytime, any place, anywhere, on any surface, in any setting. It doesn't matter. That's how we feel about football. And that's fine. But everybody else says grass, grass, grass. And when coaches come out and say grass, yeah, they want their players to be available. They want their best players to be available. They see guys getting injured on turf more than they're getting injured on grass. That's a problem. Look at what it did to the 49ers season in 2020, that game at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, there you go.
It derailed it. All those injuries, and it was week 2, I think. It was horrible.
I know. That's where, again, I don't doubt that injuries are happening on grass and all that, but my mind, and I'm, what I watch on football, it certainly seems like, field turf is a whole lot more dangerous. And I do want to challenge those stats. I mean, it's one of those where I want to go, well, gosh, who's going to actually go back and look at all that anyways? And who knows what they value is in some of that stuff too, either way. But either way, we know the players don't like it. Didn't we have some tweets too from players that kind of showed their disregard for it, I thought? Sorry, I messed up this. Yeah. No, but it's all uniform and universal. They want grass. Period. That's what players want, right?
And they get it some places, they don't get it others. And look, it should be a factor for Odell Beckham Jr. as well.
Yeah,
it should be. It should be at least one of them. I don't know the
two knee injuries
factor,
on field turf,
but it should be one of the factors.
Yeah, it definitely should be. I mean, I would think about it. I would if I was him, especially when it's twice that you've been hurt the same type of way. I planted my foot into field turf with nobody around me, and my leg got stuck, and my foot got stuck, and then therefore my knee buckled, and I lost significant amounts of money and snaps in my career that I'll never get back. So I would think that's on his radar a little bit.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.